Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Sunday. We're back. It's Gio. It's Keith. It's Apocalypse Movies. It's our The Last of Us review show for the Last of Us series on HBO. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I was just trying to. I tried to get the. I'm trying to click back on HBO Max to get the title. I always forget to get the title of the episode. Do you have the title, Gio, for this episode?
Look for the light.
Look for the light. Thank you.
No, I'm
Yes.
sorry. That's the next episode. This
Oh,
one's When We Are in Need.
when we are in need. It's episode 8.
hmm
It was the penultimate episode of this season. So we're almost to the finish line here. But yeah, this one was this is another episode again without any infected, which I know that, again, I can hear the people complaining. But this was another episode where we got a sense of the darkness in Ellie, which we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, we see, we kind of pick up sort of where we left off. We see Joel still on the mend. And yeah, there's some more people out there. So, Gio, what did you think about this episode overall?
It's funny you mentioned the second episode where there's no infected, even though like the previous episode had like one infected, which played a big role.
Yeah.
For me, this show is becoming less and less about infected and more about just how humanity can
That's it.
transform itself to something worse than it's disease, it's a virus. Man, I mean, with this episode, you think it's a individual, a guy who is preaching faith and God and all this and that, and I am the shepherd, but he's really just a piece of shit, like,
Yeah.
man. And I don't know, it's just like that's one of the good things about the stories of The Last of Us is I'm okay if I don't have as much infected. I mean, obviously it's great to watch, but like just seeing how humanity can show it's it's a dark side. Let's say that. And just like in a sense that is even worse, and just the way people treat each other and the lengths that humanity goes to ensure their own survival. And it's just, I thought this episode touched on that both great and disturbing, and to think that this could be an episode where Joel wakes up, he gets healthy again, and it's his time to shine, because the most previous episode was all Ellie. But no, I mean, I tweeted it out after watching the episode, like, this episode right here made her like a serious contender to win an Emmy.
Oh, yeah.
The
100%.
emotion, the anger,
Yeah.
the
Fear.
the fear, absolutely, man. I mean, she is like I know everyone's excited. Everyone talks a lot about Pedro Pascal and Joel and all that and what year he's having. Like, no, this is very quickly, very, very quickly, in case you didn't know, it's becoming her show.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Bella Ramsey. Yeah, and I wasn't. Now you were a Game of Thrones guy. I don't know if much. I don't know who was she in Game of Thrones. I don't know anything about the
show. Lady Moranat, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she have a big?
I might mispronounce it. What's up?
Did she have a big kind of? Did she have a big part in that, or she kind of?
No, I mean, in the later seasons when spoiler for Game of Thrones, when Jon Snow is, becoming king of the North and just people are starting to rally around him, she is one of the more outspoken leaders of her house, even though her house is small. Just it's her it's her determination, her assertiveness, her just her posture, everything.
Okay.
Just made her such a standout character.
Okay. Okay.
Mormont, there you go, Gordon right there, fact checker Gordon.
Liana.
Man.
Liana.
And
Mormont.
hello, Blake, Sean, Curtis.
Yeah, everybody watching. Yeah, thanks for joining us,
Man.
Curtis. Let me get this up real quick. Yes, I was eating while I was watching this episode, and yeah,
So yeah, I was if you haven't seen
I
our
knew.
review show,
Okay,
I've only watched the cutscenes one time all the way through, and I was like, wait a minute, these are the ones who are cannibals,
yeah,
right? And then like, okay, so they shot the deer, and I was like, there's no way they got the deer all the way back to the town.
and
What
cooked up
is
already.
what is the chef serving its people?
Yeah,
It's like there's just something about it that's just like, is that a human?
yeah,
Are they eating humans? And
yeah,
then like, we kind of find out later. Ugh, so
yeah, yeah. Well, even
yeah.
that's why the lady asked, "What is this?" And the guy had to be like, "It's venison." Like,
And I was like, is that a
is it?
person? Is that a code name, a nickname or
All
something? Like,
right.
oh man.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, dude. Like the fact that they're all eating dinner and there's no music, nothing. It's just
Oh, it's
everybody chowing, and
dead silent in there.
it's exactly what I said in the beginning of the episode. Like you're seeing just a dark side of humanity, and people just like,
Right.
whether they know that they're eating another human or not, it's just, man,
It's
like,
not a happy place. It's totally different from the Wyoming place where they were with
yeah,
Tommy.
when the chips are down, man, they'll eat. Like, yeah,
But people will go either, like you said, it shows the dark side of humanity. So in situations like this, will either go one way or the other. They're going to band together and help, and it's going to be, more helpful, or unfortunately, most of the world will probably be like this, or stuff that or like what we saw in Kansas City, or I don't know. Yeah, it's
and they don't take me for people who know how to season their food. Maybe I'm stereotypical, but
nah,
like,
you're right. I
I'm
thought
just
about
like,
that
if I'm in this, like,
too. I
okay,
thought about that too.
what is that? Like, what am I eating?
You're right.
Just at least put,
I know.
yeah. So I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It was
Crazy
definitely,
episode.
yeah. Definitely at a Donner Party situation. If you're not from California, or just anyway, you don't know about that. Yeah, look up Donner Party, or don't. Fair warning, but similar situation there. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I love to see, like I said, Joel back on the men. She gets him the medicine. Uh, she's still trying to nurse him because they're hungry also, and so it kind of, I like how they harken back to a couple episodes back when he was teaching her how to shoot and how to hunt. Um, which is pretty good. And I know my daughter was watching, and I know this part of the game, and I didn't really get too far when I was watching them play. So a lot of this I wasn't as familiar with. But she was telling me, like, it was good. At first, you see a scene where she's pointing the rifle at the rabbit, and she's like, "How are they gonna blow that rabbit to pieces?"
That's what I was wondering. Wasn't there like a viral clip from the video game where like it's snow and you see like a white rabbit and you think it's cute, and then all of a sudden it gets shot?
Well, she pointed out to me, like, "Oh no, in the game she has a bow and arrow and stuff like this."
Oh, okay.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course, duh," because I know there are parts of the game where you do have to use different weapons. But anyway,
Right.
but yeah, when the guys catch up to her, and I knew there was some weird stuff coming. These people were weird, kind of. I don't want to say religious zealots. I mean, they
They're
kind of
just
are. He
they're just
definitely
a
is.
cult.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, a cult, which he doesn't disagree with, right? When she says that to
Right.
him.
Oh yeah. He pretty much, shows maybe not his entire hand, but like, yeah,
Right.
I'm violent. I'm a leader,
Yeah. And,
you know.
people do what I say. They need me. Well,
Yeah.
he tells the story of how, like, the people left Pittsburgh, um, and he kind of broke away, and so people followed him, and we still have not made it to the Fireflies that they're looking for, which is what I kind of thought this was going to be, but
They'll be in the next episode.
Yeah, it looks like it will.
Well, they have to be. It's the last episode.
Just the last part of it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've dragged. There's a couple of things from the next game that they have incorporated here, but yeah, the other guy that's with him, David, that's Troy Baker, who voices Joel in the game.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That was pretty neat.
That was really
and I'm
cool.
glad they gave him like a pretty important part,
Right.
He's the right hand to David, and he tries not to question him, but like, when a leader shows weakness or incompetence or just anything that isn't for the people,
Right.
Of course, every leader will have its blind followers, but you'll have those select individuals who are just like, what are you doing? Is this right? And
you kind of wonder if at some point somebody would have rebelled against them, it's like in a mob where somebody, you have the mob boss, and then like there's always one or two people underneath that kind of they don't like his style, or just for whatever reason they don't trust the leader and they want to take him down.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder if that wouldn't have happened at some point eventually.
I don't know. As good as he was, he never struck me. At least when it came to like I believed he was a threat when it came to Ellie, but like, and of course to the people he was preaching with. I mean, he smacks
the girl
child, the girl, but like when it comes to like him and when he's with his henchmen, and it's like he never took me as like an alpha, like a leader. Like I feel like any one of them could have just
at
overpowered
any point.
him.
Right, exactly.
At any point.
I felt that way. I felt that way too. But it does. Let me pick this up. My buddy Blake Quick. He's great. Ellie's first on-screen kill was him. Yeah, exactly right. And I do. They mentioned it in the behind-the-scenes little feature at the end that, which is one thing I did know. This is a point in the game where you actually do play as Ellie for the first time in the game, which is pretty cool. And like I said, like I've mentioned a few times, a little foreshadowing for the next game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, it gets revealed that the people that attacked them a couple episodes ago.
At the university, right?
At the university, yeah, we're from this little colony. I guess
that's a nice callback, because I was like, wait a minute. So Joel killed one of them. I'm like, I'm thinking way back. I'm going as far back as like Bill and Frank. I'm like, who? Oh, the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those guys. Yeah. Which they attacked him. So, and Ellie does point that out to the guy. I forgot his name, but yeah, that he was acting in self-defense. But they attack him. So they're upset. I think this episode opens with what seems to be this guy's funeral, the guy that Joel killed, or at least some kind of a ceremony for him.
And
the little girl's his daughter.
Yeah, and she asks, when can we bury him? And he says it's too rough because the cold in the ground, but that's not true.
Right.
No.
Right.
Sweetheart, he's dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thursday.
Which they might be eating him right then. Right.
That
might be him they're eating. Of course, we saw later on there's like 3
oh
or 4
my
of them.
God, dude, it's like a butcher's closet, and just human bodies upset again. Like, yeah, we didn't have any infected in this episode, but still, it's like there is more than just the infected to worry about in this world, and like a greater evil, you could say. So, man, just
yeah, it was very unpleasant, but
right.
But they go get medicine. We're kind of jumping around here because there's not a whole. We don't need to go step by step throughout the whole episode, but they do get her some medicine to bring to Joel before they go looking for them, and some penicillin, which she's able to bring back to Joel, and she just puts a big thing of it in the syringe there and just jams it in there.
And I appreciate that. Hey. She wouldn't know.
You're right. Exactly.
I mean, maybe her Federa training taught her CPR and stuff like that, but like,
sure.
not to inject some penicillin or whatever,
directly into the. Well, she asked him. She's asked, like, well, where do I put this? And he can't talk yet or whatever. So she just says, well, screw it. Just puts it right into the wound. But you think she may have either seen it done or, like you said, she may have had some training. She does like carefully put the needle in there. Like, she doesn't just jam it in there. Like, she just kind of carefully place the needle in there.
She doesn't Pulp Fiction it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Joel wakes up. Ah.
Right. So that was really good. Curtis, yep, that's a good point. Curtis, our buddy Curtis Clam Sauce, is before the deer. Closed captioning teases by saying the clicking noises, thinking there might be some effect coming. Yep, I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing.
I didn't have the closed captioning on. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I watch everything with closed captioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did say it said clicking noises. So I'm like, oh no, there might be one coming, but yeah, it was just a deer. A deer that she shoots, but she kind of it's not a kill shot, unfortunately. So the deer gets away, and that's how they found her. How they found the deer.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. But eventually they do. The guys they go looking for through the neighborhood where they're staying. She sees them coming. She gets on their horse, just in their garage still, which I love, and draws them away. She tells Joel, gives him a knife, tells him if anybody comes down here, kill him. So she's able to get them for a while away from Joel, but she herself gets captured eventually. They take her and the horse and the other three.
The dead horse.
The dead horse, yes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's food, right? Eat horse, eat that. It's in. We see it later in that room with the dead people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So the leader, they take her and the horse, and then the other three stay behind to go searching door to door, trying to find Joel. I thought this was really good because once Joel, she warned him that they're coming. So when he heard the footsteps upstairs, he was able to garner enough strength. He's been resting there probably for several days. So even though he's been laying down for a long time, he had enough strength. And plus, she gave him 2 doses of the medicine that we saw. So he was just able to get up and take down that guy with his knife as he came down into the basement. And from at that point on, Joel's probably we got our guy back. Like, Joel's back. He's got to go find his girl. And it's really cool, like how he takes out that other guy as well. And Joel being who he is, they've been out there with, in wherever this is. They haven't, or maybe they have, I don't know, but it seems like they probably haven't faced anybody like Joel and Ellie before. You know what I mean? So, what do you think about the Joel sequence here of him coming back?
For an episode that started that was set in the cold, things were heating up, man.
Yeah.
Shoot. That's when the episode really started picking up, because it's like Joel at that point, yeah, he's healing, but he's acting strictly on adrenaline.
Right.
He knows he has to take these fuckers down, and he does just that. And I especially love the bait that he set up for one of the guys with another one of the guys.
Right.
And just ruthless, man, ruthless. He's torturing the guy, and he says the same line he said like 2 episodes ago, like, point on the map and your friend better not lie, or something like that. Or
it better be the same place as your friend. Yeah.
And meanwhile, he has a knife and about to pop his kneecap off, and just like, oh man. And then after he gets what he wants, he doesn't spare them.
Just kills him.
Yeah. He takes out dude on the chair, stabs him right in the abdominal area, and then takes a pipe. And then the guy is like cursing him out, and then he just bam. And it's just like, whoa, he ain't playing around.
Yep.
Y'all done messed up, man. Y'all done took away his baby girl.
Right. I was gonna say he's like the Terminator at this point,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly right. And like, this is nothing to him, right? Not that it's nothing, but it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but in this case, especially to protect her. This is cake. He'll
Him and his
easily take
brother
this.
have been through worse.
Right, exactly. That's exactly
Those
right.
jokers are nothing.
Exactly. But I do love that, and just kind of jump a little bit ahead. I do love, and they pointed out in the featurette how Ellie was able to save herself. Because we get to a point where she's been caged. They put her in a cage, which she asks, "Why am I in a cage?" Uh, and it's a great speech, kind of great back and forth between the two of them.
Yeah.
Which is not in the game, but about how because I'm afraid of you. You're dangerous, and you kind of explains who he is, what they're doing there. Um, and it's just kind of tells her, listen, I know you're dangerous. You're a violent person. You have a violent heart. I should know because I also have a violent heart. And it's just this guy's acting was really great. But it's great how he just kind of presented himself as this really nice, fatherly preacher guy, and he's quite maybe the worst villain we've had on the show. To be honest.
Yeah. Not only is he a cannibal, he's a pedophile.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, and so Ellie had to go from being nearly being eaten and also nearly being raped, with everything she's been through. I mean, this is probably the most traumatic stuff that has happened to her, and it shows in the end when her reaction when she's able to, she fights him at the end. She sets the whatever that some steakhouse or whatever, sets it on fire with the log, and they have their fight. But when she unleashes on him, it's pretty brutal, and that trauma all came out there. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that whole scene?
Well, yeah, because any casual viewer would think, "Oh, Joel's coming to save her,
Right?
This and that." But what do we know about Ellie? She's a fighter.
Right.
She's from around the way. You don't mess with her, okay? And just the amount of emotion that she showed, the raw emotion in this episode, just in that sequence. She grabs the butcher and starts, just killing the guy, and just she's yelling at the top of her lungs, takes a deep breath, yells again, just keeps going and going. You would think Tarantino guest directed this freaking episode.
Yeah.
And then to go from that to how her facial expression is when she walks out of the restaurant, she's just like, she is not herself. She's just she's a shell of herself.
Just stunned. Yeah, totally
stunned. And it's Joel that brings her back, and just man, that because it was in the video game what he says to her when they hug. He's like,
I don't remember.
"I got you, baby girl," or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he said, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
great
the
moment,
featurette afterwards pointed out that it's the first time Joel has called anybody baby girl since his daughter.
Yeah.
That's
Great
crazy,
moment.
man.
Yeah. And she would have been not obviously the last she saw him. He's been laying on the floor of this basement for who knows how long, so she doesn't know if he's made it or anything. So she's probably very surprised to see him. Not obviously not knowing who that is. That's grabbing her from behind.
Yeah.
And he obviously would have no idea what she just went through. So it probably just didn't occur to him to say, "Hey, Ellie," but he does come to her. They come together. They're finally reunited. He's back on the mend, like I said. And yeah, that was a great moment in the show. Let me point here, my buddy Blake with a comment. My friend Ellie chopped David in pieces, just like he did to the villagers that died. Exactly right, and just like he threatened to do with her.
Man,
someone asked Gordon, our buddy Gordon, asked, "I would like to know how Ellie pieced it all together." Are you talking about the that they're eating people? Remember, she saw that ear.
Yeah, she saw the ear on the ground.
Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, I don't know. Or is that a pun, Gordon? I don't know. Ellie pieced it together. So I don't know. But yeah, this is a great episode. My daughter watched this. Said this is probably her favorite so far. feel like I've said that 2 or 3 times in this first season.
Dude, man, they're 8 for 8, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
hey, listen, there's no reason I think they're not going to close out strong, man. Like I am surprised that they're not going to cover more. They covered a lot of this first game in this first season.
right.
Like I said, we talked about this before. I am surprised they're going to jump ahead straight into part 2, the season 2. But they've already planted some of those seeds. So, listen, I trust whatever they're doing. I trust it. They're good. I mean, it's totally fine. But yeah, this is a great episode. We're happy to have Joel and Ellie back together. And like you mentioned, great. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Blake Quick says give them all the Emmys. 100%. Excellent. Two excellent performances in a row from Bella Ramsey here. These last 2 episodes, really great. So I don't know. What are your last thoughts here? We're going coming down the stretch here. We got one more left, man. What do you think?
I'm surprised by the last episodes. Well, before we get to the last episode, I had one nitpick.
Okay.
Where was all his guys at?
All the people.
Yeah, and what I mean, the town was probably indoors from the storm or something,
Yeah.
or the heavy weather. But where was all the guys at? I mean, was that it? All the guys that he took to the town, and
that might have been.
That's all he had.
It didn't seem to be a lot of people there, and there was a lot of women and children. So maybe it's just those guys were all the muscle he had. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, I guess by chance he made the right move because if you're gonna go after Joel, you better
bring everybody.
You better send everybody.
Right, exactly.
But in regards to what's next, I saw that the runtime of the next episode is like 43 minutes. I'm like,
wow, oh,
wow,
really?
That's pretty short.
Very short. It's the shortest so far. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah, Blake, that's true. Secluded because killing a few people knew about it. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's probably true. So.
I could buy that.
What a crazy that goodness gracious. And there's probably a few towns like this. Throughout the country,
dude. Just out there. The yeah, out there in the open, the wilderness, like
just some weird, dude. Kind of cult people, and what they're probably eating, going out actually hunting people and eating them. Who knows? That's terrible. But anyway, yeah. So, just real quick to point out, like seeing where where Ellie bit the guy. She was able to attack him while she was locked up, and she revealed that she's infected. We don't know. I do wonder that. Oh wow, if she bit somebody, would they become infected? I don't know. That was a good. I wonder if that would be true. Because remember when the Fedra guy in the first episode scanned her, or first or second, whatever, scanned her, it did say that she was infected.
Right. No. She does have the virus in her, but the virus doesn't. It doesn't impact her. She's immune.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question.
I wonder. Yeah, I wonder.
I am not sure if that's touched on at all in the second part. I've only seen the cutscenes of the first game.
Right.
But if not, I mean, depending on how they go about it, I mean, this show, if they were to add that element to the show, I wouldn't be concerned. They haven't done wrong, really, in my opinion, yet,
right.
In regards to what they've added. So,
yeah, agree. Well, like I said, they're 8 for 8. Episode 9, very last one of the season's coming up. So we're gonna definitely be back here next Sunday. Oh, well, we'll be back to talk about it. We're not sure if it'll be next Sunday for sure.
Yeah, we got the Oscars on Sunday, which
we're trying to figure out.
It's going to be tough to sit there and watch the Oscars knowing that the season finale is premiering on HBO Max, and it's just like, yeah, why don't we throw it on that TV?
There's a chance. We'll let you know for sure. Check out social medias. Check our Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Discord. Follow us in Discord if you're not join our Discord. We'll let you know for sure. There's a chance we might talk about it on Apocalypse Now next Tuesday. We're not totally sure. Probably run that by Jake before we go declaring that.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys. But we'll let you know. Make sure you're following us. You can get all that information, find out when we're going to talk about the season finale of The Last of Us. Yeah, we enjoyed this one, so make sure you come back. Either way, like I said, we'll let you know. Make sure you come back, join us. We'll talk about the finale and wrap up the whole first season of The Last of Us. It's been a good one so far. Yeah. So that said, thank you for joining us for this one. This was episode 8, The Last of Us. This is Apocalypse Now. My buddy Gio. I'm Keith Barnes. We will see you next week.